Here's our spy movie news for May 4th, 2021. So, may the 4th be with you. Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise, Robert Pattinson as the next James Bond, BAFTA billion-dollar spy, Kingsman the Blue Blood, Mads Mikkelsen, Memory, and more. Hi, this is Dan Silvestri with SpyMovieNavigator.com and our Cracking the Code of Spy Movies show. So let's go. Mission Impossible 7 and 8 delayed. As reported in Deadline.com, both Mission Impossible 7 and 8 have been delayed. Top Gun Maverick will take Mission Impossible 7's spot on November 19th, 2021. That means that Mission Impossible 7 will now release Memorial Day weekend in the U.S. on May 27th, 2022. And Mission Impossible 8 has been pushed to July 7th, 2023 from its November 4th, 2022 date. Check it out, Deadline.com. Ethan Hunt and the Syndicate. In this interesting article by Mike Reyes on CinemaBlend.com, Reyes asks if Ethan Hunt has been secretly fighting the Syndicate his whole career. Reyes dives into the developments of the most recent movies and finds a pattern. We first hear of the Syndicate in Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. Members infiltrate the intelligence community to bring it to its knees. Reyes talks about corollaries with Spectre in the Daniel Craig Bond movies. He has some interesting insight about the role of Kittredge, played by Henry Czerny, who is being brought back in the upcoming Mission Impossible movies, suggesting that bringing him back helps cement the role of the Syndicate behind all of the Mission Impossible movies. Check it out, cinemablend.com. Blown in the Wind. Tom Cruise got some annoying tree branches cut that were disturbing Cruise and other actors. According to cinemablend.com, Cruise ordered some branches cut that were scraping against his and some other actors' trailers during the rest period during filming of Mission Impossible 7. Given all that we've heard about the problems in getting this movie made, we're glad this was one annoyance easily pruned. Thandiwe Newton, who played Nia Hall in Mission Impossible 2, is switching back to the real spelling of her name. She said the old spelling without the W in her first name was a mistake from early in her career. She's now adding the W back into her name. So I guess now we go from Tandy Newton to Thandiwe Newton. There you go. James Bond. How about Robert Pattinson as the next James Bond? In this article on cinemablend.com, Jamil David posits that after looking at some art by Barrett Digital, he thinks that Robert Pattinson would be a great James Bond. He's positioning for Pattinson to take on the role after Daniel Craig. The article includes a very James Bond-looking Pattinson. Could be an interesting choice, especially after his role in Tenet. Le Chiffre's torture of James Bond was almost cut from Casino Royale. Oh, that would have been bad. Mads Mikkelsen, who masterfully portrayed Le Chiffre in Casino Royale 2006, had an interesting reveal about one famous scene in that movie. In an interview published on Total Film, Mikkelsen tells us that the torture scene after the poker game, where Bond was naked on the bottomless chair with Le Chiffre swinging the knotted rope, at one point was on the cutting table for a while. It was in, then out, and back in again. We are happy that they kept it in, as it showed a great side of Bond and the spy world that is often neglected in spy movies. You can read the full interview on GamesRadar.com. Mads Mikkelsen left what on a plane? In another article on Mikkelsen, he left the script for Casino Royale on a plane after falling asleep heading to his audition. He realized it after deplaning and they wouldn't let him back in. Fortunately, it never turned up. The script had his name printed on every page. That could have been bad. This is one of the few tidbits exposed in a cinemablend.com article. BAFTA again ignores James Bond movie actors in its memoriam montage. And when it has to be a snub in the eyes of James Bond fans at least, BAFTA did not include some prominent James Bond actors in their in memoriam section of this year's film awards. Honor Blackman, Diana Rigg, and Earl Cameron were not included in this year's remembrance. At least they mentioned Sean Connery. BAFTA apparently looks at Rigg and Blackman as TV actors, not film actors, as they included Honor Blackman in their BAFTA TV in memoriam. In a statement to Variety, BAFTA said, BAFTA's committee considered Dame Diana Rigg to be better known for her work in TV, so she will be included in BAFTA's TV awards broadcast this year. Well, to all of us spy movie fans, we remember them for both movie and TV work. We wish BAFTA did too. At least the Oscars got it right. $1 billion spy drops the hammer. It looks like Mads Mikkelsen, here we go again, who played Le Chiffre in the 2006 James Bond movie Casino Royale, will be getting a new co-star for the upcoming movie The $1 Billion Spy. This Ama Asante movie is based on a real-life Cold War story. Mads was supposed to co-star with Armie Hammer, who was recently dropped from the project due to Hammer's recent problems. $1 Billion Spy is expected to start production this year. Check the story out, HollywoodReporter.com. Kingsman, The Blue Blood, one of the most confusing naming conventions used by a studio, will have 20th Century Fox releasing The Kingsman on December 22nd, 2021. That's two words, Kings and Man. This often pandemic-pushed movie is supposed to be the prequel to the Kingsman series. The first two movies had Kingsman as one word. This gets even more confusing in an article on Digital Spy, which talks about Kingsman 3, which it says, the one that's not The King's Man. They say the rumored name for Kingsman 3 is Kingsman, The Blue Blood, which will wrap up the trilogy of the first two movies with Henry Hart and Eggsy. Yeah, I'm confused too. Creator Matthew Vaughn is quoted as saying, "We need to make one, because I don't want Colin in a Zimmer frame, or Eggsy with nappies, so we need to get on with it." Of course, a Zimmer frame is a walker, and nappies are diapers. One other reason to hurry up with that is that there have been some rumors that Taron Egerton could be in the running to replace Daniel Craig as James Bond. This could get interesting. Memory gets key actors. The upcoming Liam Neeson's movie, Memory, has filled its main cast with the addition of Guy Pearce, Monica Bellucci, Harold Torres, Taj Atwal, and Ray Fearon. Neeson plays an assassin with Pearce, Atwal, and Torres as FBI agents. Monica Bellucci plays a tech mogul. The movie, based on the Belgian movie The Memory of a Killer and the book De Zaak Alzheimer, is currently in production in Bulgaria. Louis Tan takes the lead for Quantum Spy. The adaptation of David Ignatius's novel Quantum Spy has picked its lead actor and its Mortal Kombat star, Louis Tan. Tan will be both the star and co-executive producer. Tan will play a CIA officer who needs to hunt down a Chinese mole at an American quantum research lab. This may end up being a television show instead of a movie. More details to come later. Check it out, Variety.com. Spy City, picked up by AMC Networks. The U.S. rights to the 6-part European spy drama Spy City have been picked up by AMC. Plans are to start the show April 15th, 2021. Dominic Cooper stars as a British Secret Intelligence Service spy set in Berlin during the height of the Cold War. HollywoodReporter.com. Cliffwalkers, released April 30th. The 1930s tale of espionage with northern China and Japan, called Cliffwalkers, debuted in the U.S. on April 30th. According to a review on MovieWeb.com, the movie has many Hitchcockian character twists. 4 spies are on a mission that requires them to parachute into a wintry forest. Their cover has been blown. There are 7 chapters to the movie with numerous double crosses. We were excited to see this movie, and we'll release our Quickfire podcast on this movie within a week. Industry news. Murdoch thinks theatrical window is gone for good. In an interview at APOS, James Murdoch, former CEO of 21st Century Fox, said the substantial, if not complete, collapse of the theatrical window in the U.S. and a lot of other markets is here to stay now. He also talked about how COVID-19 has accelerated his thinking. He also talked about how rebundling is already happening in the streaming industry, and for the consumer, your total price is already where it was with cable, if not higher. There's a real question about what the creative output is going to look like within these large conglomerates and what established and talented creators are going to want to do, he said. So, the times, they are changing. In memoriam, Jason Matthews, author of the Red Sparrow thrillers, dies. APnews.com reports that Jason Matthews, the award-winning novelist who had a 33-year career in espionage with the CIA and who wrote Red Sparrow thrillers, died at the age of 69. APnews.com. Paul Ritter, who played Guy Haines in the 2008 James Bond movie Quantum of Solace, passed away on April 5th. If you remember, Guy Haines was the special envoy to the Prime Minister who was in the Opera House. He's the first picture that Bond took of Quantum at the Opera. Bond didn't recognize him, but Mathis did, if you recall. Read more about this article, HollywoodReporter.com. Helen McCrory, who played Claire Dower, MP, in the 2012 James Bond movie Skyfall, passed away on April 16, 2021. Miss McCrory also is known for her roles as Narcissa Malfoy in the Harry Potter movies, as well as Polly Gray in Peaky Blinders. Remember, all the links to the articles mentioned here will be on our podcast page on our website, spymovienavigator.com. All right, this has been Dan Silvestri with spymovienavigator.com. Please subscribe to our show, Cracking the Code of Spy Movies, right now on your favorite podcast app. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, too. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it.